Hello, good day everyone. This is Valmalin Sanchez, your reporter for today. So, I think they already discussed the other terrestrial biomes, and now I'll be discussing to you the temperate and tropical forests. So, before anything else, let me define to you of what is a forest. Forest is a large, continuous stand of trees, grows in moist areas with at least one warm season. So there are two types of forest, which is the temperate and tropical. Now, I will be discussing to you first the temperate forest. This biome is characterized by deciduous trees. When we say deciduous, that are trees that shed their leaves during autumn. That's because temperate forests are heated in areas that experiences four seasons. So in those regions only. The winter is cold and the summer is hot. The spring and autumn are relatively mild in terms of temperature. So many kinds of plants and animals live here because compared to tundra and taiga is relatively short, and compared to desert there is more precipitation. We have this map to show us the major biomes of the world. So the temperate forests are found in this part of America, major parts of Europe, this part of China, and we have also here Japan. We have here bird's eye view image of temperate deciduous forest. As you can see, some of the leaves are turning brown and they are about to shed come autumn or fall season. And this one is found in the Durance River in France. This one is another temperate forest from Tibet. Now this diagram shows us the different types of trees or categories of trees that can grow in temperate forest. So as you can see, in this type of biome, trees can grow very tall, and they are the ones that provide this foliage or coverage of these leaves on top of the forest. And then you have smaller shrubs and smaller herb foliage that are found more mostly at the bottom of the forest. So, since the trees shatter leaves during fall or during autumn, it's important for microbes to break down these leaves so that the nutrients can be recycled. Okay? So, the leaves of these broadleaf trees decay very rapidly, and then some can totally disappear within a year or two. This affects the fertility of the soil. The dissolved nutrients or the broken down nutrients will be seeped into the soil and can be used by other organisms by becoming available to plants. These are more examples of trees that can grow in temperate forest. Maple tree, oak tree, and shagbark hickory tree. So we have here more flora of the temperate forest. So we see here a pink cylindrical snow plant which steals nutrients from the mycorrhizae on tree roots, and mycorrhizae is actually a relationship between a fungi and roots of a seed plants that allows them to survive with each other. Then mushroom can also grow on trees. Next, we see here trees feature of a temperate forest, of course, and the green chlorophyll is broken down. We can see other leaf pigments such as yellow here, and eventually it will be shed during fall or autumn. And then one of the tallest trees, the largest known singular tree in the world, General Sherman tree, and small flowering plants can also be found here. In terms of fauna, you can find again deer, chipmunk, beavers, eagles, and different types of birds. To sum up, temperate forests are found in northern hemisphere, mostly in America, Europe, and then parts of Asia, and even some parts of Australia. Precipitation can range about 70 to 200 centimeters annually, so that's quite high. And a significant amounts of precipitation fall mostly during all seasons, including summer rain and in some forest winter snow. Temperatures are quite extreme with 0 degrees Celsius during winter and summer with very hot and humid temperature and can reach up to 35 degrees Celsius. So mostly you can find a close canopy of these tall coniferous trees as what I have shown you a while ago. The tall trees that provide coverage or canopy are foliage to the rest of the forest floor. In animals, the type of mammals that can survive here are mostly the ones capable of hibernating during winter. And bird species that can stay here actually migrate to warmer areas during winter. Human impact. They are heavily settled in all continents. However, logging and land clearing for agriculture and urban development has cleared a lot of these forested areas. Due to their ability to recover through ecological successions, these forests are returning to their former status and former range. Let's proceed now to tropical rainforest. This biome has much rainfall. That's why it is called a rainforest. All throughout a year and observed to have high temperature all year because it is located near the equator. Tropical rainforests have no seasons, but it is important to note that more organisms live here than in all the other biomes combined. Again, even if you combined all the species found in all the previously discussed by my classmates in terrestrial biomes, there are more organisms found in tropical rainforest. So they have very high of biodiversity of organisms. However, we have to note that the soil is thin and not very fertile because the nutrients are cycled very quickly. This map shows us the distribution of biomes and we can find the tropical rainforest here in this continent. Southern America, in Africa, some part of Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and you can see here even in the Philippines. Now, our major biomes are tropical rainforests, then some part of Australia as well. It is actually found along near the equator. This one shows us the common vegetation found in tropical rainforest. So you have here the ground layer, this is the forest floor. Then you have find here the shrub layer for small plants. Understory is smaller trees, then the taller trees found in the canopy and the emergent layer. You can also find different organisms in each layer. Eagles, happy eagles are found in the emergent layer. Birds such as the toucan is found in the canopy layer. You have your opossum, Brazilian tapir are found in the ground layer. So they have such varieties and such different level of vegetation, and that also allows different organisms, different animals to survive as well. There are more photos of rainforest. This is from Guyana. You can see here very thick canopy and Puerto Rico. Many of the tall trees in a rainforest shoot straight up and only have branches and leaves near the very top. With tons of trees packed in like this, the treetops create a blanket of leaves hundreds of feet above the forest floor. We call that the canopy and it blocks most of the sunlight, shading the layers underneath. So the canopy create the blanket of forest coverage, a blanket of leaves that covers the rest of the forest. So these are more images now. So in the rainforest, you can be surrounded by so many trees that you can barely see the sky through the thick canopy. So three tops form a dense layer of leaves. We call that again canopy. We can find here another image of forest floor, and the forest floor is littered with dead leaves and other plant and animal matter. So one thing that we have to note is that mostly in canopies, the leaves of the trees try to avoid touching each other. So you can see here this very fine line of trees not touching each other or avoiding each other. We call that crown shyness. So these are animals that can be found in the tropical rainforest, the orangutans, and you can find here tamarind trees, rosy periwinkle, and different insects such as ants, birds, and in amphibians such as these dart frog and sloth are also found in rainforest. Palm trees are also found. Their lianas are those plants that actually crawl along these vines. Orchids as well, and you can see here an aerial view of the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. Again, I want to emphasize that tropical rainforests in South America contains the largest diversity of species on Earth. So more organisms, you can find jaguar, lemur, sloth, and gorillas in tropical rainforests. To sum up, tropical rainforests are found in the equatorial and subequatorial regions. So we have in South America, Africa, Asia, Southeast Asia, and even in Australia. They have constant and quite plenty of annual precipitation. They have the highest precipitation from 200 to 400 centimeters annually. Some could have quite dry season only, averaging of 150 to 200 centimeters annually. The temperature is quite that all year round with no seasonal variation. So little to no seasonal variations, it's between 25 to 29 degrees Celsius. So they have layered layers of trees, so they have a close canopy, and we discussed that already. Animals include home to million and millions of species. You can find insects, spiders, arthropods, mammals, birds, reptiles. They have all adapted to the environment. And in terms of human impact, humans had long thriving communities in tropical rainforests, but sadly, they are now being cut down and converted to farmland. We have to stop deforestation and to actually plant more trees so that tropical rainforests could recover and return to their climax status. That's all for today, and thank you for listening.